Good morning, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Degenerate Disseminators podcast. I'm your host, Jordan, and we have Daniel in the building with us, so you know it's going to be a good day on the pod.
Hey guys.
Um, so very interesting day. Hopefully, you guys are following us on Instagram. I actually took away a play, the Clippers game. Very interesting scenario there. I got a notification from Hard Rock Bet that James Harden wasn't playing, so it was voiding all player prop bets involving James Harden. But after I got that notification, I couldn't help but notice James Harden player props were still available, and ESPN Fantasy still had him listed as playing. So I don't know. I just had a weird feeling about it. I pulled the money out. I do believe the Clippers won that game outright, but they did not cover. So glad I found the cash out button there. Kings -6.5. They lose to the Pelicans. Not really sure what happened there. And then the USA Finland game, USA goes absolutely bonkers in the third period, and we hit that over. It got a little
It was
scary there, but
2-1 going into the third.
yeah, they scored 3 goals in
I
three
was like,
minutes
we're
to start
cooked.
the
It's
third
over.
period. So
They scored two. Yeah.
yeah, so very interesting score line today. We go 1-1-1 with the push. New scoreagami for the podcast.
Crazy.
You guys want to keep track of that, I might honestly try and make a scoreagami for us. I think that'll be fun. But yeah, go even on the day. I'm not mad about it. I do want to look into that James Harden situation a little more though, because I find it very strange that Hard Rock said he wasn't playing, and then not only did he play, but he had I think 32 points, 10 rebounds, and 7 assists, or the rebounds and assists were swapped. So he went out there and balled. So very interesting to see there. But is what it is. Nothing much went on Friday, so we're back for Saturday. Got the Four Nations coming back in a UFC fight night. Um, Still no basketball at his All Star weekend. So we have one pick from the Four Nations tournament, and I do have three UFC picks. I'm looking forward to talking about. But however, as we always do, guys, we're gonna give Daniel the floor first, and he's gonna give us Four Nations pick.
All right, fellas. So, first pick, only pick for hockey. We are taking over 6.5 on goals at plus 100. Crazy bet. Now,
You gonna specify what game?
that's for yeah, that's for the USA Canada game. Basically, both of these teams have like crazy offense. USA has pretty solid defense and really good goaltending, while Canada's defense is like eh, and their goaltending sucks. So I think it's going to be a high scoring game again. Obviously, USA covered the 6.5 spread and the 5.5 spread during their game against Finland, but I think it's going to happen again. Honestly, I think both teams are going to get on the board here heavily. Um, Honestly, my prediction for the final score would be like 3-4 or something. Like it's gonna be closer than Finland versus USA. Um, but I think they can get that bet done. Um, as far as side bets go, I don't have any odds, but we're gonna take Brady Kachuk for a goal, and we're gonna take Zach Werenski for an assist. Zach Werenski had 3 assists in his last game, and Brady Kachuk had 2. So yeah, these guys are powerhouses for the USA at this point. I think they can get it done. And that's it. That's all I have to say. There's really not much behind this. This is the third game, fourth game of the Four Nations face-off, and I mean, there's not a lot of stats to go over other than like player stats and like, I mean, obviously players like regular season stats count as well, but we all know who's playing in this Four Nations face-off. It's the best in the league, so it's you know not a whole lot to cover. Anyways, I'm gonna swing the rock over to Jordan for some more sports.
Hey guys, I do like Daniel's pick a lot. If Sweden can put up 3 goals on Canada,
Yeah,
no
that's also
saying,
something I maybe forgot to
yeah,
mention.
no saying how much the boys in blue are gonna hot on
Yeah.
them. But
Listen,
anyways,
Canada's offense, banging. Their defense, like I said.
I saw a video of PK Subban freaking out after Finland scored, and he was like, "Hellebuck's always leaky." I just thought that was funny.
Yeah, and
But
then Hellebuck shut them
yeah.
out for the rest of the game.
I mean, hey, if Hellebuck's a little leaky today, you know, I don't mind. Maybe
But
PK's
here's
right.
the thing is that he is the best goaltender in the league by far.
Oh
I
no,
mean,
100%.
every metric. He won the Vezina last season. His postseason wasn't good last year. It was really bad. Honestly, he was getting like 7 goals scored against him every game. But this is not the postseason. This is basically the All-Star game. The NHL's equivalent this year. I think it's better than an All-Star game.
Yeah,
And
the NBA is
Hellebuck's
doing
showing
the same thing. They have 4 All-Star teams now, so I kind of
really.
yeah, I kind of like I don't know. I like the more games. I'm not gonna lie.
Well, I
Obviously,
mean, the best on best, like for the NHL, has never like it hasn't been a thing in a long time.
mm,
I think the last time they did it was in like before 2020. So this is like pretty awesome to see. We got all the up and comers who are like actually really good now, showing out for their countries, and it's great. It's good hockey.
yeah,
Probably the best hockey we'll see all year.
yeah. That the last USA game was pretty cool to watch. But all right. Anyways, we're gonna kick it into some UFC. It is a fight night, so nothing too crazy on the card. There are some good fights in here. But as you guys know, I've brought it up before. UFC odds. Um, I feel like they're actually pretty spot on. But the thing is, anything can happen in this sport. So just keep that in mind whenever you bet on UFC. But anyways, I'm actually looking at 2 fights on the prelims, and then the main event, Cannonier versus Rodriguez. Um, First fight of it, I'm gonna go in order of when these fights are taking place. So first fight on the card, we're looking at Gabriel Bonfim versus Chaos Williams. His name is Chaos, guys. How can I not take him? Um,
Wow.
and Chaos Williams is a plus 175. And you know, if you're betting on multiple UFC fights, I always like to sprinkle in a nice underdog pick. And this is the one that stuck out to me the most. Um, Bonfim is a submission specialist. I believe he has 8 wins by 12. It might be 12. Hold on. Let me confirm really quick. 1 second. Da, 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 da. His brother's also fighting on this card actually, which is pretty interesting. Yes, he has 12 wins by submission. My apologies. Um, However, Chaos Williams does have he's more of a striker, but he also does have a 4.5 inch reach advantage. So I do think he has the better ability here to take control of range, and he can still pick Bonfim apart on the feet while also staying just out of range to make it a little more tricky for Bonfim to get a takedown on him. That's kind of the game plan I see. It's really the only method of victory for Mr. Chaos here. However, in 18 professional fights, he has not been submitted. Um, I just hope he can keep it on the feet, preferably in the center of the octagon, play off his range, and he is a very heavy hitter. Um, and yeah, I like Chaos in this spot, but I do think the game plan for him is very cut out. Um, it is a striker versus wrestler matchup, which is always a little scary. But honestly, I don't know. I feel like when strikers fight another other strikers, sometimes we see one of them bust out some wrestling, and the other guy doesn't really expect it. I think Chaos Williams definitely knows what he's getting into in this fight, and like I said, he knows what he has to do to get it done, and hopefully he gets it done. The first fight of the night, I'm taking Chaos Williams money line for plus 175, and that is at zero point 0.6 units. Next fight we're looking at, this is another prelim fight, Angela Hill versus Ketlin Souza. I know you guys are gonna be like, Jordan, Angela Hill is 40 years old. I know, but this is women's strawweight we're talking about, not the craziest power in the world. But I just like Angela Hill here. She's a lot more experienced. She's also very tough. 31 fights professionally, and she's never been knocked out. And the only 2 losses she only has 2 losses by finish, which were by submission, which is pretty impressive given she's fought 31 times. Um, she has looked great at times in the UFC strawweight division. Um, but I just really like the experience she has here. She's really fought the best of the best. While yes, she has lost to most of them. I'm just gonna name a few people she's fought: Tabitha Ricci, Mackenzie Dern, Lupi Godinez, Amanda Lemos, and I believe she fought Jandaroba as well. Did she fight Jandaroba? I just saw her name on here. Yes, and Jessica Andrade. Names like that. She's Rose Namajunas. Y'all heard of her? I love when she has a main event, but I just really don't think Ketlin Souza is gonna bring anything to the table that Angela hasn't seen in the sport. And this is only Souza's fourth fight in the UFC. She's 2-1. She lost her debut, but she's won her last two. Um, yeah, I just really don't think she's gonna bring anything to the table that Angela hasn't seen, and not really sure how she's gonna get it done. This could go the distance. We'll see. Um, but prior to losing to Tabitha Ricci, I actually did watch her fight against Luana Pinheiro and Denise Gomez, and she looked really good all around in all aspects, especially when she submitted Pinheiro. So hopefully we get a same performance like that, and she gets it done against Souza. So I'm taking Angela Hill. This fight opened up as a pick'em, but Angela Hill has dropped to a slight underdog at -105. We're taking her money line for 1.05 units. And the last fight of the night, we are looking at the main event: Jared Cannonier versus Gregory Rodriguez. A bit of an interesting matchup. Cannonier is also 40. He's fought some heavy hitters. Daniel, why are you giggling again?
Well, because Jared Cannonier's old as fuck. That's why.
Yeah, he is also 40. I know I ignored the fact that Angela Hill is 40, but Angela Hill hasn't fought these 185ers that could absolutely destroy you. We've seen Cannonier lose his last two fights. I was gonna say both by knockout. He did lose to Borjalo by decision, but if you guys watched that fight, he died in that octagon. I don't know if he slid money to the ref, but his brain literally shut off in that fight, and yeah, I think these last two fights very hard to come back from, especially such a heavy hitter like Rodriguez. I don't know who wins this one because Cannonier also hits very hard, as we know. This guy used to fight at heavyweight. Actually, I don't know if you guys knew that, but yeah, he used to be pretty deep in the 200s. He's a very strong fella. Yeah, both heavy hitters. And Rodriguez can also be pretty chinny at times. He does have some goofy knockouts professionally. The total rounds line is sitting at 2.5. I'm taking the under. Could this fight go above that? Yeah, Rodriguez definitely can sneak in some wrestling. He averages about 2.7 takedowns per fight. Hopefully, it doesn't go that route. I think these are some very entertaining fighters. I think they look to keep it entertaining. Yeah, I think they definitely both have the chance to put each other's lights out, and hopefully they do it in under 12 and a half minutes. That's where we're sitting at. The final pick of the night, I'm taking the main event: Cannonier versus Rodriguez under 2.5 rounds. And that is gonna do it for me, Daniel. Is there anything else you'd like to add?
Um,
Do you have any thoughts on the other Four Nations game tomorrow?
that's gonna be a fun game to watch. Finland and Sweden are like rivals. They kind of hate each other. I don't know if you saw, but there's a video of somebody asking all the Finnish players to say something good about Sweden, and all of them were like, "Nah, fuck those guys."
I didn't see that,
Basically,
but I remember when they during the USA Finland game, they were talking about that they don't really like each other too much. So it should be very interesting
yeah. I mean, the
to
countries
see.
are right next. It's like USA Canada, but in Europe. Their countries are right next to each other, and they both love hockey. So I mean, should be a fun
Hopefully
game.
there's a big brawl or something. Is
I don't think so, but
that
I
allowed
mean,
in
a
this
lot of these guys
tournament?
are teammates.
That's true.
I mean, I'm sure it is to an extent. Like they're following NHL rules,
Because I know with like
so like
football
they
now,
can brawl.
the All Star or the whatever the Pro Bowl is flagged now, so like they're trying to mitigate injuries. So I don't know if they
True.
were taking that into consideration, but
They might. Honestly, I haven't looked at the rule set or like any like special rule exceptions or anything.
I think they should give them like weapons and shit. Honestly.
That'd be great. Imagine Barkov pulling up with a fucking gun. That'd be sick.
Yeah, that would be pretty
But
awesome.
um, I don't know. Should be a fun game. I don't think there's going to be a brawl. A lot of these guys are teammates, so it's like you're gonna fight with your teammate and then go hang out with him, get a beer after, probably.
Yeah.
But I don't think they want to do that. It's not fun to fight your friends that
Yeah.
often.
But
So
I guess we'll find out in a little bit.
yeah,
But
we'll find out tomorrow at 1 p.m.
yes. But that is gonna do it for today, guys. I guess a little side bet for me. Uh, if you guys, Calvin Cater sitting at a plus 375. If you want to take a go ahead. But I'm not. This man's tore his ACL 2 times. And yeah, I think the Aljamain Sterling fight really revealed a lot. If Yusuf Salah has a similar game plan, Calvin Cater stands no chance. But do what you want with that information. We're gonna kick it into the recap here. Chaos Williams money line, zero point 0.6 units. Angela Hill money line for 1.05 units. And then under 2.5 rounds on the Cannonier and Rodriguez fight for 1.15. And then over 6.5 goals for USA Canada for 1 unit, as it is at even money. We have 3.8 units in play total, and hopefully send the rest of the week into the green, which would be nice. But that is going to do it for us today, guys, and we will see you tomorrow.
Shout out to this guy.